Right now, we're in the middle of a really big Facebook ads change. It's called ODAX, and this is what it looks like. Some of you will already have this in your Facebook ad account. For those of you that don't, it's coming. In this video, I'm going to explain what this change means, the impact that it will have, and what you need to do about it as a Facebook and Instagram advertiser. So ODAX stands for Outcome-Driven Ad Experiences, and it's Facebook's way of simplifying their campaign objectives. They're not just simplifying, by the way, they're also making some changes to delivery and their machine learning process, which I'll talk about later on. Make sure you stick around for that, that's very important. But they are simplifying their campaign objective menu, and I think that's a good thing. It had gotten a bit bloated. We had about 11 before, and that's just too many. It's too confusing for new Facebook advertisers to get their head around. This menu of 6 makes a lot more sense to me. But obviously, if you're used to doing things under the previous system, you now need to know how to translate that over to the new campaign objectives menu. So we'll start there, then we'll talk about the changes to delivery, because that's really key. So if you were running a direct to offer strategy where you're directly looking to generate conversions via your website, that's now been split up into 2 different options. You've now got leads and you've got sales, which again makes a lot of sense. If you're new to Facebook ads, you select conversions, you're like, well, what does that mean? Leads or sales? It's fairly self-explanatory. So let's say, for example, you were running direct to offer. That's, by the way, you're directly advertising your product or service to cold audiences, getting them to come through to your website and either purchase or inquire. And you would say you're running direct to offer, and you say you're advertising free consultations, okay, as your offer in a conversion what used to be a conversion campaign, now a lead campaign. If we click on this and click continue, and then jump to the ad set level, you will see, interestingly enough, that the default is instant forms. Now that's the equivalent of the previous lead generation campaign objective. It's the sort of thing I'm sure you're familiar with, where someone clicks on an ad and they're presented with a lead form as opposed to going through to someone's website. If you want the previous conversion campaign coming through to your website type setup for generating leads, you want to go ahead and select website. From then on, it can function exactly as it used to, okay? So that's the first option. If we then close that down, jump to the campaign level, click create again, and go with the other side of direct to offer. So this is going to be your e-commerce businesses. Or by the way, don't worry about Advantage Plus. I'm going to explain more about that in a whole separate video. For now, just go with manual sales campaign, right? And if we jump to the ad set level, we can see that the other side of what used to be conversions, the sales side, is already defaulted to websites. So that's going to be e-commerce businesses looking to generate purchases, businesses maybe looking to get someone to book something and purchase it on their website. It could be book a hotel room, restaurant table, something like that, right? E-commerce being probably the most common example. So if you were running conversion campaigns, sending people through to your website, those are the 2 setups. Obviously, if you're running lead generation campaigns previously, then you just want to go with leads as the default. If we close that down and talk about some of the other options that are important. The next one I'll talk about is awareness. Oh, and by the way, you can see down here, when you select one of these, you say good for reach, brand awareness, video views. So you get the idea of what these new campaign objectives correspond to in terms of the previous campaign objectives that Facebook used to use. So awareness is what I'd like you to use if you're using the omnipresent content strategy. If you don't know what that is, it's an awesome strategy, relatively new, can deliver fantastic results. I'll put a link in the video description below to another video talking all about that. It's the one that's called I Found a Better Way to Advertise on Facebook. So I'd recommend you check that out if you don't know what that is already. But we use awareness here instead of reach. It's going to function in much the same way. Traffic is the same as it was before. Nothing really doing there. The only times I'm going to use that is if I'm advertising a blog post or something like that, or if I can't track conversions via my website. So let's say I'm sending people to an Amazon page. We can't track the conversions, therefore we're going to go ahead and use traffic. Next option I want to talk about is if you're running, say, a page likes campaign. And those of you who followed my content might know that I'm quite a fan of doing that, at least at the beginning of your Facebook ads journey, because it helps get some likes on your page. It helps you build a bit of a presence, a bit of a following, and just make you look credible on the platform. It's not necessarily going to translate into customers, but it makes you look credible. And if people go and check you out, they might be more likely to convert. Now, the way you do this, because this has changed, is you go ahead and select engagement, click continue, and then jump over to the ad set level. And then you want to scroll down and select Facebook page. Obviously, make sure you've got the right Facebook page selected if you've got multiple. And then you can go ahead and run this ad. And this is going to get some engagement on your Facebook page, send people directly to your Facebook page, get some likes, help you build a bit of a presence. It's not a massive thing, but important. Priming your Facebook page is what I call it early on is a good idea. Right, so if I close this down and we bring the campaign objective menu back up, app promotion still works very similarly. So that's the main way you go about doing things. If there's anything that you used to like and you can't find, just scroll through and you can see these good fors. you click on engagement, see good for messages, video views, post engagement. You get an idea of how things used to perform. This is much simpler. This is better. It's also very interestingly affecting the delivery system that Facebook is using. And this is something I want to cover because it's very, very important. Before, conversion campaigns, both ones that are designed to generate leads via your website and ones designed to generate sales via your website, they functioned quite similarly from an optimization and machine learning process. So Facebook would work out things like, okay, this is a conversion campaign. We know that on average, we want to generate 6 impressions per 48 hours per person that we're advertising to. That's better than spreading out all the impressions. That helps us convert. Or we know that the best time of day to advertise is 6 p.m., then again at 8 a.m., then again at 2 p.m. All those sorts of various things, part of Facebook's machine learning process, which helps us all get better results. With this system, splitting out the leads and the sales means that they can now optimize and learn independently. So that it may well be that the optimum number of impressions of an ad to get someone to become a lead via your website might be, say, 6, but the optimum number of impressions to get someone to purchase via your website might be 9. Well, that difference can now come to bear, can now actually happen in your Facebook ad account as your campaigns learn and as they improve. What does that mean? That means that as a Facebook advertiser, if you've got campaigns that were under the old system, and let's say they've dropped off in performance and they're struggling a little bit, I'd strongly recommend that you recreate them under the new system. It's highly likely that's going to help improve performance because this is how Facebook wants campaigns to optimize under the new setup. If you've got campaigns that were running under the previous system and they're still doing great, don't touch it. That's like rule number 1 of Facebook ads. Don't mess with campaigns that are delivering great results. But if you are seeing a drop off, recreate them. I think you're going to find that helpful. Now, with all the changes going on with Facebook and Instagram ads right now, it can be very hard to keep up, very hard to work out the best way to do things. And quite frankly, if you don't want to have to do that yourself, we can do it for you. We create, manage, and optimize Facebook and Instagram ad campaigns for our clients. If you're interested, click on the link in the video description below, take you to a page on our website, and you can find out more information about our services. And ODAX isn't the only big change happening to Facebook ads right now. A ton of targeting options have disappeared recently, and that has changed the game when it comes to targeting on Facebook. In this video, I show you exactly how you should set up your targeting on Facebook now that these changes have come into effect. I'd strongly recommend you check it out.